5 surprising benefits of living solo after 50. Peace, quiet, and a space that's entirely my own. I've been living alone for 19 wonderful years, and if you told me years ago that living solo after 50, would feel this good, I'm not sure I would have believed you. But it does. Let me share why. See, society often paints a picture of women living alone after 50 as lonely, maybe a bit sad, right? Like we're missing something. We're supposed to be settled down with a partner, maybe enjoying grandkids, as if our worth is tied to having someone else around. It's like we're not capable of finding happiness and fulfillment on our own. But I'm here to tell you, that's a load of baloney. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had my doubts at first. After years of prioritizing others, raising kids, focusing on my career, taking care of the household, being a wife, a daughter, a friend, all those roles we play, it was like, who am I when I'm not taking care of everyone else? But then, slowly but surely, I started to realize how much I cherished this newfound independence. Hey, I'm Graceful Mindz, and I help women over 50 navigate this amazing chapter of life. And let me tell you, living solo after 50 isn't just fulfilling, it can be downright exhilarating. I mean, think about it. Complete freedom to design your days, your space, your life, exactly as you want it. In this video, I'm going to share some surprising truths about living alone after 50, and why it might be the most exciting decision you ever make. So, what are the real benefits of living solo after 50? If you're in that situation right now, or considering it, the reasons might surprise you. Let me share a few that have made all the difference for me. Benefit number 5, drama-free life. All right, let's start with something we all crave, especially after 50, peace. And the funny thing is, people often equate living alone with loneliness. But for me, and a lot of women I know, it's been the key to unlocking a whole new level of peace. I am talking real peace and quiet. No more negotiating whose turn it is to use the bathroom. No more compromising on what's for dinner or what show to watch on TV. You set the thermostat, you pick the music, and you control the level of peace in your own space. And let's be honest, who hasn't dreamed of a home where you don't have to tiptoe around anyone else's moods or schedules? I used to live in a place that was constantly buzzing. Family coming and going, phone ringing, always something happening. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But once I started living alone, it was like I could finally breathe. My home became my sanctuary, a place where I could truly unwind and just be. Now I have these little rituals that make all the difference, like no phone calls before 9 a.m. That's my sacred coffee and reflection time. And on weekends, I have a no drama rule. It is my time. I prioritize things that nourish my soul, whether it's getting lost in a good book, soaking in a long bath, or just pottering around in my garden. You find what works for you. The key is to be intentional about creating that peace and quiet we all crave. Okay, see, here's another reason why solo living after 50 rocks. Benefit number 4, financial freedom. Be the boss of your money. And let me tell you, that feeling of controlling your money, it's priceless. I used to have a joint account with my partner, and there are advantages to that. But after my divorce, when I was suddenly in charge of all the finances, it was a wake-up call. Scary at first, not going to lie, but also incredibly empowering. Now, every financial decision is mine. I decide how much to save, where to invest, and what to spend my hard-earned money on. No more compromises. No more awkward money talks. Financial independence is a game changer for your confidence and peace of mind. It's about taking charge of your financial destiny. And here's the thing, You don't have to be a financial whiz to do this. Take it one step at a time. For me, it started with actually looking at my bank statements, like really looking at them and figuring out where my money was going. Then I set up a simple budget. Nothing fancy, just a basic plan that helped me track my income and expenses. And you know what? Just having that awareness made a huge difference. Then there's the whole retirement planning thing. When you're on your own, you're the one in charge of securing your future. It can feel daunting, but it's also incredibly empowering. I started contributing more to my retirement account, and I even met with a financial advisor to create a plan that felt right for me. It's important to seek professional help if you need it. Do not shy away from that. But it's not just about the big stuff. It's about the everyday choices too. Like when you live alone, you don't have to justify that little splurge on something that makes you happy, or that investment in a course you've always wanted to take. It's your money, your priorities, your call. Align your spending with your values and goals. And here's a little fact that blew my mind. Did you know that single women over 65 are more likely to own their homes than single men of the same age? We're talking about building real security and independence. We are talking about creating a financial future that is both secure and fulfilling. Now, the next one might seem funny, but one of the most unexpected benefits of living alone? Cultivating a degree of self-sufficiency you never imagined achievable. Benefit number 3, increased self-reliance. Okay, confession time. Before I lived alone, I used to call my neighbor for every little thing that went wrong in the house. Leaky faucet? Call him. Computer acting up? Call him. Then one day it hit me. I'm a capable woman. I can handle this myself. And let me tell you, figuring things out on your own, that feeling is liberating. And that's one of the most surprising perks of living alone after 50. You become incredibly self-reliant. Maybe it's home maintenance. Maybe it's figuring out a new tech gadget. Or maybe it's just navigating a new city on your own. Living alone throws you into these situations. And you know what? It's incredibly invigorating to discover that you can handle them. Like that time when I assembled my entire IKEA bookshelf by myself. I felt like a superhero, no kidding. Or when I finally learned how to change a tire after a flat tire incident. I was stranded and there was no one around to help. I had to rely on myself, and I did it. And if you're taking on this journey of living alone, don't get scared or overwhelmed. These small victories build up, and suddenly you realize you're so much more resourceful and capable than you ever thought possible. You become your own hero. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a master plumber overnight. Start small. That dripping faucet? There's a YouTube tutorial for that, trust me. There's a tutorial for everything. Or that wonky doorknob? Give it a try yourself. And these days, we've got AI to help us out too. Name the thing whose tutorial is not there. You'll be amazed at what you can learn and do. And the best part? That feeling of accomplishment when you do it yourself, man, it's a total confidence booster. You'll feel so proud of yourself. Let's move on to another great benefit of living alone after 50. Benefit number 2, become more intentional about your social connections. You know how it goes. When you're living with others, sometimes you end up socializing by default, not by choice. But living alone after 50? That's when you get to be really intentional about who you spend your time with. And let's be honest, sometimes that means fewer awkward family dinners and more quality time with the people who truly light you up. For me, it meant less drama, fewer pointless arguments, and a lot less tension. I could choose to spend my time and energy on relationships that were truly fulfilling. When you live alone, you're not obligated to attend every social event or constantly be surrounded by people. You have the freedom to choose when, how, and with whom you connect. It's about quality over quantity, And in my experience, it leads to deeper, more meaningful relationships. It's about curating your social circle, not just filling it. Plus, let's face it, living alone often means less drama. No more tiptoeing around someone else's moods or getting dragged into unnecessary conflicts. You get to choose your battles, and more often than not, you get to choose peace. It's funny, but living alone has actually made my friendships stronger. Instead of just passively socializing with whoever is around, I now make a conscious effort to connect with the people who really matter to me. Like, I have a standing weekly call with my best friend, just to catch up and really talk. And when I do go out, it's for things I'm genuinely excited about, like that new independent film I've been wanting to see, with my closest friend, who also loves them. Now let's move on to the best benefit of living solo. Benefit number 1, guilt-free indulgence. Ever find yourself putting off that bubble bath because someone else needed the bathroom? Or skipping that decadent dessert because you felt like you shouldn't? When was the last time you truly indulged in something you desired without a shred of guilt? Here's the beauty of living alone after 50. You get to prioritize your desires. No more pressure to keep a spotless house 24/7. No more cooking meals for others if you're not in the mood. No more feeling guilty for binge-watching Netflix all night. No more compromising. No more explaining. No more feeling guilty for taking care of yourself. You have earned it. I remember always feeling like I had to justify taking time for myself. A long bath felt too indulgent. A weekend getaway seemed selfish. But living alone, that changed. Now I relish these moments. A luxurious bath with all the candles and essential oils? Yes, please. A spontaneous trip to that little bookstore across town? Absolutely. And you know what? I don't feel an ounce of guilt about it. And these make me happy and fulfilled. And it's not just about these grand gestures. It's about those small things too. It's about savoring that piece of chocolate without feeling like you have to share. It's about spending an entire afternoon lost in a good book without worrying about interruptions. It's about buying yourself flowers just because. This is your time to rediscover what truly brings you joy and to indulge in those things without apology. This is the time to say yes to yourself without any hesitation. Now, some might say that's selfish, but I say it's essential, especially after 50. We've spent years taking care of others. Now it's time to take care of ourselves. And when we do, we're happier, more fulfilled, and more present for the people we love. So what's one desire you've been putting on the back burner? Give yourself permission to indulge, guilt-free. You deserve it. See, living alone after 50 doesn't have to be anything like those old stereotypes. It's a chance to create a life you love on your own terms. So embrace the freedom, the peace, the self-reliance, and all the amazing benefits of living alone after 50. But remember, it's about balance. Don't become too isolated. Nurture those connections that matter. Don't give up on your appearance. Let your inner radiance shine through. And don't give up on staying active. Keep moving, keep exploring, keep living life to the fullest. Bottom line, living alone can be incredibly fulfilling if you make it so. Ready to take that next step in feeling amazing after 50? Click right here to discover Flattering Outfits After 50, 7 Secrets to Boost Your Confidence. And let's get you looking as good on the outside as you feel on the inside.